So is there anything new to say about the Battle of Agincourt? Well, I think there is, and in my book I trace what has happened to the image of Agincourt and why Agincourt means so much over the centuries. I've traced this from the time of the battle itself down to the present day. And what you can see in this is, in the early 17th century, for instance, the desire to associate ancestors with the battle, even often on spurious grounds. We can see in the 18th and early 19th centuries the desire to associate it with other great British victories such as Waterloo against the French. We can see it featured in the Great Exhibition of 1851 as an expression of Englishness. And of course we see it down to the 20th century with the idea that the soldier, the archer of 1415 is very much the Tommy Atkins of the First World War. In 1914, shortly after the beginning of the war, there was a story that soldiers even saw Agincourt bowmen in the sky. Agincourt then is a battle that lives with us even today and is really quite a fascinating thing to study. Agincourt is the one battle that you all will have seen because, of course, it features in Shakespeare's play Henry V, the play written in 1599 and probably the first play to be performed at the Globe. That play, although not very famous in the years after Shakespeare, was performed in connection with every war with France in the 18th and 19th centuries. And even when we were allies with the French, of course, it features in Olivier's great film of 1944. It was such a suitable film for wartime. It showed the charismatic war leader and his loyal troops following him, the archers hammering in their stakes, the gritty determination on their faces as they saw the French cavalry approaching. In Branner's interpretation of 1989, we get a rather different view, perhaps coloured by modern attitudes to war. It's a much dirtier affair, a much grimmer affair, with much more hand-to-hand fighting and actually much more mud and blood than in the Olivier Technicolor film of 1944. Both of them are great portrayals of this great battle and well worth viewing.